During the months of January to April, young girls in their iconic Girl Scout uniforms transform from innocent young ladies to persuasive saleswomen. Selling door to door and standing outside of your local grocery store, they're selling sweet boxes of nostalgia and temptation, the enigmatic Girl Scout cookies. Unfortunately, these cookies are also laden with trans fats, refined oils, refined sugars, and dairy. Hello, I'm Healthy Emmy. I'm a nutritionist, a weight loss specialist, and the creator of the Slim on Starch program. If you want to eat starch and get slim at the same time, click the link in the down bar. You can work with me as well as a mindset coach and a nutrition coach. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to make the easiest and healthiest no-bake version of the famous Girl Scout cookie, the Carmel Delight or the Samoa, depending on where in the world you are. So what do you call it? Let me know in the comments. Now, the Girl Scouts are a great organization, and I recognize that them selling their cookies is a great fundraiser for them. And as a female business owner myself, I don't want to take away from that by making this video. So if you would like to donate to the Girl Scouts, you can do that. I've put the link in the description bar so that you can make a direct donation, which puts more money in their pocket than if you bought one of their boxes of cookies, because they have to pay for the cost of goods in that scenario. I have absolutely zero affiliation with the Girl Scouts whatsoever, but like I said, as a female business owner, I gotta support those young ladies. So I'm supporting them, and I'm supporting you too, because this recipe is completely whole food, plant-based, vegan, oil-free, sugar-free, gluten-free, no junk added, only made from whole foods, and no baking necessary. If you're interested in more healthy dessert recipes and more healthy recipes in general, not only make sure to subscribe, but if you want a ton of recipes right this minute, then get a copy of one of my recipe books. I have a healthy desserts cookbook, which I think would be perfect for you if you like this video. The link is in the description. All right, now let's get into it. Let's talk about what ingredients you are going to need. So first, we're going to need 1.5 cups of medjool dates that have been pitted. My advice here is to buy medjool dates that still have the pit in them and to pit them yourself, to remove the pits yourself. When you buy medjool dates that have already been pitted, when you go to the grocery store and you see that there are 2 packages of dates, one says pitted and the other has the pits in them, they're whole, don't buy the ones that have already been pitted. Those are going to be really dry. Buy the ones that still have the pits in them, and you are going to pit them yourself just by opening up and removing the pits from them. Then you're going to want to soak those in hot water so that they can get nice and soft. You're also going to need 1/2 cup of oats. If you are gluten-free, if you have celiac disease, while oats are naturally gluten-free, they, if not certified gluten-free, will have some cross-contamination. So if you do have gluten issues, then make sure you buy ones that are certified gluten-free. You're also going to need 1 cup of unsweetened shredded coconut, and you're going to bake that in the oven for about 5 minutes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit so that it's toasted. And then an extra 3 tablespoons of the same thing, unsweetened shredded coconut. Make sure that you bake it in the oven. You're also going to need 1/3 cup of vegan chocolate chips. I love the Hue brand chocolate chips. They don't have any added sugar. They're made just from dates, and they're a great option. And then for sprinkling on top, a little bit of sea salt. The first thing that we're going to do is in a food processor or a blender to blend the oats into a flour. If you just have oat flour on hand, then you can absolutely use this too, but I am using oats for this recipe, and we're just going to blend this. Then we're going to add in our dates. Make sure that these dates were soaked in hot water. It's going to be really tough to blend, especially if you buy the pitted dates that have already been pitted and they're really dry and you add them in, you're really going to have a tough time here. So by pitting the dates yourself and then adding them into hot water, it makes them so much easier to blend. So we're going to add these in. We are also going to add in that cup of toasted coconut. And we are going to blend all of this together. Now you can see that we formed a cookie dough here, and try not to just eat this directly from the food processor, but it would be safe if you wanted to. So what we're going to do is we are going to form these into balls. I find that it's a lot easier to roll these if your hands are a little bit wet so that it doesn't stick. So you're going to roll these into balls, and then you're going to place them on a cookie sheet that has been lined with parchment paper. So you'll do this for all of the dough and line them all up. You should come up with about 12 cookie dough balls. Now we need to flatten these, and the easiest way to do this is to cut a square of parchment paper, place it on top of each of the balls, and then taking a glass, pressing down on top of the parchment paper to flatten it out. You're going to do this for all of the balls that you've formed here. Now, as you can see, the edges are a little bit rough, so we're actually just going to pick each one up and just smooth out the edges with the hands a little bit so that it looks a little bit nicer and eats a little bit more nicely. Now, I'm using a chopstick for this part. I am just going to sort of drill a little hole in the cookies so that it does resemble what the normal Carmel Delights look like. You don't have to do this. Once we've formed all of these, we are going to put these into the freezer to help them harden up a little bit. And then after taking them out of the freezer, we're going to take each cookie and we are going to dip it into the chocolate just to coat the bottom and place face down on the parchment paper. Once we've done this with all the cookies, we are going to take the chocolate, take a spoon, and we're going to drizzle the remaining chocolate over the top of the cookies. If you've used all of your chocolate, then melt a little bit more for the drizzle. Then we're going to take that 3 tablespoons of shredded coconut and we are going to sprinkle it on top. You want to be timely with this, making sure that the chocolate doesn't dry before you sprinkle the coconut on top so that it can sort of catch the coconut. And we're going to do the same thing with the sea salt, just sprinkle it on top. We are then going to put these back into the freezer for about 10 to 15 minutes and let them harden up, and then you can take them out and enjoy. If you enjoyed this video and recipe, then definitely make sure to get a copy of one of my recipe books so that you can make plenty of more healthy recipes. The Healthy Desserts cookbook would be a great fit for you. And if you want to eat starch, eat potatoes, eat rice, eat oatmeal, and get slim at the same time, then join the Slim on Starch program. All of the details are in the description bar. I love you, honeys, and I'll see you in my next video.